Hello and Assalamualaikum. So today, Group 2 will presenting In-Situ Chemical Oxidation Isco for soil recovery. Watch out.
Okay, hi. Talking about the petroleum. Actually, what is petroleum? Petroleum is also known as a crude oil. It's a naturally fossil fuel, which is derived from the remain of ancient marine organisms, which comprising a complex mixture of other carbons. Petroleum actually is an important energy resources that have played a transformative role in powering our modern worlds. It serves as a primary raw material for the productions of many type of fuel. For example, we have gasolines, diesels, and also jet fuel. It is also important play an important role for the important components in our manufacturing in our daily life. The extraction, refinations, and utilizations of petroleum are integral to meeting global energy demands, which is making it a cornerstone of the contemporary energy landscape. We know that the petroleum leakage on soil harmful as a significant environmental challenge, which is inflicting the extensive and lasting damage. It will raise both economic and environmental concerns.
Next, for the problem statement, the first one is severe petroleum contamination in Kuala Terengganu, which is widespread salt and groundwater contamination from overseas of petroleum. These main sources leak from underground, fuel tank and spill from oil gas production. The second problem statement is significant extent of contamination, which is over 50% of soil sample contaminated with petroleum hydrocarbon, and level in some area pose severe health and environmental risk. The third problem statement is serious impact, which is for the human health, respiratory problems, cancer, neurological damage, skin eye, irritation and headache. While environment kills plant animal, contaminates soil, water and air, leads to harmful ozone formations. And for economy, it reduces property value, agricultural difficulty, infrastructure damage and loss tourism revenue. Next, for the objective, we have four. The first one is the purpose is to propose remedial works for soil contamination due to problem leakage. Number two, develop accurate methodology for assessing the degree of soil contamination by petroleum, taking into account both soil and groundwater components. Number three, assess and categorize proficient remediation technique for soil contaminated with gasoline within geotechnical setting. And the last objective is identify and evaluate challenge with current engineering practice associated with the management of soil and groundwater in the context of petroleum contaminations.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is HERYANI Binti Mohammad ARIFIN, and I will present about brainstorm in Falah table. So, first facts about this title is rehabilitation is a protected procedure that needs constant upkeep and observation. So the ideas for the facts is long-term sustainability. Removing petroleum pollution is a continuous process, and the learning outcome of these facts is which long-term management strategy are required to guarantee the sustainability of Kuala Terengganu remedial sites. And the action of the learning outcome is obtain finding for ongoing maintenance and observe tasks, and testing will assist in determine the contamination level, which is essential for creating successful recovery plans. So, second is one of the main source of petroleum contamination is leaky underground fuel container. So the ideas for the facts is leaks are caused by aging infrastructure and poor maintenance, and there are serious environmental danger when there is gasoline leakage, since it can contaminate groundwater and soil. So the learning outcome from the facts is which location are most vulnerable to fuel tank related to petroleum leaks, and the action for the learning outcome is establish and enforce string maintenance protocol for underground fuel tanks, and emphasizing regular inspections, timely repair, and proactive measure to prevent leaks. So the third fact is cleaning up contaminated site and remediating the environment is expensive, and the ideas for the facts is cleaning up and rehabilitation. petroleum spill site is a complex and expensive process, and the typically cleanup and recovery cost depends on the severity of the contamination and the type of petroleum involved. So the learning outcome for defects is how can we cost effectively remediate contaminated site in Kuala Terengganu, and the action for the learning outcome is train staff on emergency response to procedure during a spill to minimize impact, and companies should invest in using innovative and efficient cleaning. So next is petroleum products are handled and stored under the control of environmental law and regulation, and the ideas for the facts is to reduce environmental concern related to petroleum consumption, and the government enforce the environmental law and regulation. And next, and the handling, disposal, storage and transportation of petroleum products. And next, the handling, disposal, storage and transportation of petroleum products are normally covered by this law, and the learning outcome for these facts is what environmental law apply to the storage and clean up of petroleum in Kuala Terengganu, and how can we make sure that they are followed. And the action for this learning outcome is to ascertain the existing and concentration of petroleum pollution, and sample of soil and groundwater are collected and analysis. So the last for the brainstorm in Falah table is the facts is environmental issue are caused by the overuse of petroleum, and the ideas for these facts is triple threat to the environment, which is pollution from petroleum spread widely damage the air, water and soil, and the learning outcome for these facts is what is Kuala Terengganu impact on petroleum contamination, and the action for the learning outcome is determine the degree of pollution in the groundwater and soil, and in order to calculate the critical contamination level and create an efficient recovery plan, and laboratory testing will be helpful. Okay, thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is HAMIZAH Binti AHMAD. I represent methodology for this project. Okay, there are various methods to treat the soil polluted by the petroleum leaks. It involves several in-situ or ex-situ treatment consists of contaminants, separation, destruction, which is include biological, chemical, physical, and others. So for this project, we focus more on in-situ chemical oxidation, which is in short form is ISCO. Okay, for based on the flowchart shown, it is a procedure of in-situ chemical oxidations. So we start from the site characteristics, oxidant selections, injection system design, oxidant injections, monitor and also controls, reactions and contaminant breakdown, and for the post-treatment monitoring, and the last one is verification and closure. So before we want to implement ISCO, is a comprehensive site characteristic is a conduct to understand the nature or the extent of the polluted petroleum contaminations. This involves soil, groundwater sampling to determine the concentrations and distribution of contaminants. We also need to choose oxidant selections. The commonly used oxidant include hydrogen peroxide, sodium sulfide, potassium permanganate. So for the injection process is carefully controlled to ensure even distributions and maximum contact with the contaminant. And for the important part is post-treatment monitoring. Is after injection and reaction phase. Post-treatment monitoring is conducted to assess the effectiveness of ISCO treatments. This involves additional soil and groundwater sampling to verify the reductions in contaminant concentrations. So for the procedure of in-situ chemical oxidations, for the design we have many type of methods, and for this project we choose the injection via filter and the direct push method. So for this injection via filter and the direct push method is more the economics and the safe, and have more pros and cons for this method. As you can see from the figure, it shows the principle of direct injection via vertical filters. It's inject from to the soils, and for the right one is schematic view injections, and the last one is schematic side view injections.
Okay, so this is for the conclusion remediation. So, in the conclusion, addressing the issue of gasoline-contaminated soil in Kuala Terengganu is imperative. The widespread environmental consequences associated with many of the problem, especially petroleum leakage. So, as one of the important issue also, the overuse of petroleum has led to a significant number of underground fuel tanks leaking, contributing to all soil and groundwater contaminated and so on. So, to mitigate all of these adverse effects, one of the most important action is to employ suitable site remediation technique that take into consideration the geotechnical aspect of the affected environment. So, in the summary, by addressing the issue as its roots and employing sustainable remediation practice, Kuala Terengganu can work towards mitigation the environmental impact of petroleum contaminants and fostering a healthier, more resilient ecosystem.